Thank you for joining us today for how to apply to speak at the Reeve Summit 2021. Just a few quick notes before we begin. We will start today with the webinar and then end with a question and answer segment. If you have a question you would like to ask, please put it in the Q&A box located at the bottom of the screen, and it will be answered at the end. Today's webinar is also being recorded and will be available on the Reeve Foundation YouTube channel as well as our website after the webinar. Now I'm going to hand it over to Janine, who will be discussing the website. Hi, Janine.
Hi, Kaylee. Thank you so much. And thank you everyone for participating. We're so excited that you've joined us, and we're looking forward to our first virtual conference, the second annual Reeve Summit, but as I said, the first time we will be doing this virtually. And so we're excited you're here, and we're looking forward to the event. So I'm going to just give you a brief overview. The website is Reeve Summit 2021. That will take you to all information regarding the event itself. And specifically for speakers, there is a section where you can learn more about how to apply, which is basically what this webinar is designed for tonight. And I'm just going to go over some quick highlights that we feel could be of value to you. So since you're applying, regarding submission requirements, this is an open proposal, open call for proposals. And one thing to note is that, they are for educational sessions that should be informative for the entire paralysis community, which does include caregivers and healthcare professionals. It's also important to remember that an individual can submit a maximum of 2 proposals, while an organization may submit a maximum of 5. We will not be accepting late submissions, and no product or organizational endorsement proposals will be accepted. And we're really looking forward to having you submit, for those of you who haven't done so already, and reading through your ideas and topics. On the site itself, specifically in the speakers section, you'll see a list of evaluation criteria. And the call for sessions is basically open to any speaker who will address paralysis-related topics that does address the needs, independence, concerns, and access issues for people with paralysis, their caregivers, healthcare professionals, and anyone who works with people with paralysis. And some of those highlights that we're looking for in regards to sessions could be taking a fresh look at a common challenge or practice, offering solutions to issues faced by the paralysis community, and helping to build confidence, capacity, or personal growth. And you'll see a longer list, again, on that speaker section of the site. And then some of the expectations for session presenters. We do ask that if you are submitting a proposal to present, if you can keep the conference dates available until notified of the status of your proposal. There is a list of guidelines that we are asking each presenter to follow. And again, as I said before, this is listed on the speaker section of the website. So some of those things, if you are selected to be a keynote or a breakout session presenter, is to work with the Reeve Foundation staff, our meeting planners, our software company. We do have the content guidelines. We will be having a webinar training in spring of 2021, and so forth. So we do encourage everyone to look through the more extensive list of guidelines that we're looking for everyone to adhere by if you are selected. And then some key planning dates and deadlines. The call for presentations will be closed on December 31st, and we will be sending notification to presenters between December 2020 and February 2021. In March, specifically March 1st, for those who have been chosen, we will be reaching out to get more specific detail regarding your bio, your headshot, social media links, and so forth. And then on April 1st, the final session materials are due. Our staff is really looking forward to working with everyone. And so we will have individuals reaching out to you again to confirm if you've been chosen and then to work with you on those details. And just just a couple of other notes. Within the website itself, there's a registration section. We will be updating the program. The website is pretty much very easy to navigate. You can, again, register as an attendee, as a sponsor, as an exhibitor, and there's contact information as well for specific questions. And again, as Kaylee mentioned, we'll also be doing a Q&A at the end. And I believe Angela is next. Thank you, everyone.
I don't know if Angela's muted, but my name is Marty. So I'll take this opportunity to introduce myself. I work alongside a team of people who will be working directly with you, and we help with the logistics and the technology and making sure that everything is seamless. I know that these past months have been quite an adventure for many of us in learning virtual platforms and participating in virtual platforms. And for some of you, this could be your first time presenting in a virtual platform. So I just want to make sure that everybody is aware that we have lots of experience doing this, and we are right there with you. You will have a team of staff folks who are there to work with you from the Reeve Foundation on content and delivery, and then from this logistical and technical team to make sure that everything you need to know is addressed and taken care of. You will have direct access to me and other members of my team, as we just want to make sure we don't want anybody to have any anxiety about presenting in this virtual way. So I wanted to just make sure we talk about that. Janine did talk a little bit about our timeline, which you can also find on our website. And I do want to say, if for some reason you don't feel that you can meet the December 31st deadline, we don't want to discourage you from applying. You know, that was kind of our deadline to give our internal team time to really give thoughtful process review for these RFPs. But if you feel like you can send one in early January, I would like to encourage you to do so. We don't want to be too hard with that date, but it is posted on the website. So I also wanted to address that. And then also, as Janine mentioned, as we get closer, when we are into April, we will do a series of trainings. We will have videos for you. We will have all kinds of training and documentation to make sure that you have perfect ease with the platform, as well as with how to create your videos and your PowerPoints and whatever other materials you will be sharing. We will work with you on that to make sure that they're perfect for the platform and you have no hiccups at all. So just again, you know, my name is Marty. You'll be working directly with me and other members of my team. And I am really delighted to see that we have over 20 participants on this call today. So that is really encouraging, and we really appreciate and value all of you and the contribution you're going to make to our summit. So thank you. And I'm also here to answer any questions that surface. And now I think I'm going to toss it to Angela. I'm not sure why Angela seems, there we go. Apologies, we seem to be having a little glitch with Angela's audio. Kaylee, if you're there and you can help.
Okay.
Oh, there you go.
All right. Sorry about that. Here we go. So my name is Angela Cantillon. I'm from the Reeve Foundation. I am one of the co-chairs along with Janine, who spoke earlier, and Marty is from our event planning company, and her team will be handling all those things she mentioned earlier. But what I'm going to do with you today is I work more so on the content area. And there was a lot of questions around the content that flowed in and what we're looking for. So I'm going to address each one of those one by one. And then at the end, we will open up to any questions that have flowed in during the session itself. So I'm going to read these off to you and give you some answers. And I hope that will answer a lot of questions for everyone. The first one was, hi, I'm a C6 incomplete quadriplegic. I do speak and bring awareness for the disabled community. Can I speak? So my answer to this would be to look at 3 guiding points for potential presenters. Anyone who wants to present, one of the first guiding point would be no solicitation zone. So we're not looking for companies, brand endorsements, product endorsements, those types of solicitations to speak. The second principle to think about when you're applying is that the summit's focus will remain on quality of life, education, and research. So think about that in context of when you're putting your proposal together. The third one is that we are open to creative out-of-the-box ideas also. We think sometimes those can be some of the most dynamic sessions that come to us. A few examples of this might be an instructional lesson on mouth painting, an introduction to gaming and gaming tools, or an adaptive cooking lesson. So those are just a few I'm going to throw out there. They don't have to be those things, but if you have a creative idea of that you think would be a great session and would be a little bit different from the traditional educational session, feel free to submit a proposal on that also. The second question was, we appreciate this opportunity at Reeve. These individuals were several therapists that are interested in presenting on how equine assisted services can benefit those with paralysis. And so what I would say is that, yes, we could consider a presentation on how equine assisted services can make a difference for people with paralysis. So yes, that is something we would consider. The third question was, I'm interested in speaking at this event to spread the word about my foundation and potentially help any TBI survivors that we can. For this one, I would actually go back to the first guiding principle, which is, we're not here to talk about our organization specifically. We're here to educate the community. And so what I would say is if you really want to have people learn about your foundation, that's great. And we do have room for you, just in another capacity. I would suggest becoming an exhibitor, and that's a great opportunity for you to spread the word about your foundation and what they do. The next question was, there was 2 versions of this question. The first one was, do you have any areas you want to have covered at the summit that have not previously been covered extensively? And the second one was, I am a person with paralysis interested in doing more public speaking. Are there specific topics you're looking to cover? So I'm going to give you a list of potential topics. This is not by any means comprehensive at all. But what I will say is that this can start to get the ideas flowing. So we're open to all kinds of educational sessions that impact people with paralysis. I can share some ideas, but this list is by no means comprehensive. Adapted arts, adapted recreation and sports, secondary health issues with paralysis or health and wellness, research, will always be a core area for us, and we will always have research sessions. Acute care and rehab, travel, assistive technology and adapted tools, maybe adapting your home or a session on a universal design, financial planning with a spinal cord injury, the ADA and advocacy issues, and being independent, employment, Medicare and Medicaid, veterans and military, kids, going back to school, caregiving and respite, dating and relationships after paralysis, emotional adjustment to paralysis, driving after paralysis, disaster preparedness for people with paralysis, transitioning out of a nursing home and into an independent living environment, women with paralysis, parenting with paralysis. So those are just a few ideas. I would also say that I'm holding up right now the Paralysis Resource Guide. This is one of our flagship products here at the Paralysis Resource Center that we give out for free. You can get a paper copy of it by contacting us. You can also go online to our website and get a PDF of it. And this is, if you just flip through the pages here, you will see so many areas of interest that if you look at the table of contents, and all of these areas of interest could be a topic at the summit itself. So even just looking through here, you could see possibly where you might fit and be able to present an application for a presentation. So I hope that helps. And again, that's not comprehensive. It's just a starting point, but it can kind of help get the ideas rolling. The next question was, can you have two speakers present together with your virtual software? Yes, we can. You can have one speaker, you can have two presenters together. We are looking to have a couple panels. So there are a lot of options there. Don't feel that it's one or nothing. There are a lot of great options. The next question was, is there a fee? There is no fee to apply. But there is a thank you. If you're selected, you will get free registration to the event as a thank you for taking your time to present to our community and share your insights and your knowledge and help be a part of this really great summit that we're putting on. The next question I have is, I'm curious if a recording of the webinar will be shared. Yes, it will be. After this, we're going to take this recording and we are going to post it up on the summit website. So you can look for it there. The next question was, is there a Word doc or PDF of the abstract submission to view before going online to input and submit? We don't currently have that up. So thank you for bringing it up. That was a small oversight on our part, and by Monday we will have those questions in either a PDF or a Word on the website, and you can look at the questions in advance and prepare your application so that you don't have to go in and out before you apply to look at it. The next question I have is, what does the designation mean on the first page of the application? So designation means training or degree, like an MD, a PhD, an MSW, any types of certifications, any types of degrees, educational background designations. That's where you would put in that box. So those are all of the questions that I have that flowed in advance. Kaylee, are there any questions that have come in since we started this webinar that I could answer, or one of my team members, Marty or Janine?
Yeah, so we have actually gotten a few great questions so far.
Mm-hmm.
The first question being, how long are the breakout sessions?
Okay, that's a very good question. So it's an hour in total from beginning to end. And I would plan for just a couple minutes in the very beginning for someone to come in and do housekeeping and introduce the session. Then we will turn it over to the presenter. The presenter should then plan to present for about, I would say, 30 to 45 minutes. 30 on the short end, 45 on the long. So there's a little flexibility there. At the end, we would like all presenters to set aside a little time for a Q&A from the audience members. And there will be a moderator within the session who will read those questions off to you. And then we can do that portion of it. So an hour in total. And realistically, could that run over slightly? It could, because we do have a break in between sessions, but we don't want to plan for that. Our goal would be to have it from beginning to end to be 1 hour.
Great. The next question we received is, I am a Pilates teacher and do have a company / program for SEI. Just to be clear, I would not promote my company or book, but would talk about how a Pilates-based approach and even touch on my research can help people with spinal cord injuries. How close does this to the line of solicitation if I'm talking about Pilates in general?
As long as your session is educational in nature, then you are fine. As long as you're not promoting your company, or you can say, I work for this organization, or I own a Pilates company, but as long as it's educational in nature and you use some research and maybe do a demonstration. So for example, the Reeve Foundation through the Community Education Program has done a lot of sessions on yoga for all abilities at different places throughout the United States. So the individuals who do those sessions are trained professionals and in adapted yoga, and they go around and they don't promote their company or their organization, but they do some great educational sessions in it, and allow people to know where they can continue to access therapeutic yoga for all abilities, so that they can maintain what they learned and continue to practice after the session. That is allowable. Just don't focus on the on your company itself, or endorsing it, or them utilizing it, or handing out brochures. Things like that, that's where we tip the scales and it gets unallowable.
Great. The next question is it allowed to present a series of 3 presentations that might build upon each other? Each would also be appropriate to stand alone.
It's a possibility. I would have to, the people who are reviewing the proposals will have to look at the topics. It's better if they could each stand alone, because I have been to educational conferences in the past where if you miss the first one, then the second one makes no sense. So it is possible that all 3 could be offered, and it could be notated in the descriptive paragraph that each of these build off of each other, and you can attend one or all.
The next question is, how can we apply to be on a panel, or are those hand-selected by the foundation?
When you fill out the form, there are options that you have for the type of session. There is actually a very long list of options. So what I would encourage you to do is, in your descriptions, if you want to be on a panel, is to click the options that say, you know, I could do this as a standalone session, or I could be on a panel. And in your descriptions, explain, like, I would be interested in being on a women's health panel, or I would be interested in being in a panel about employment, and these are my specialties. I can speak to these areas. So I would suggest it would be more about how you would craft your application, and realize too that you can submit more than one application. So if you want to be in a panel, but maybe you also wanted the option to do a breakout session, you can do 2 applications.
The next question is, what is the best way to survey topics or sessions that have already been approved or offered previously?
I'm sorry, could you say that again? I didn't hear the very first part.
What is the best way to survey topics or sessions that have been approved or offered previously?
Okay, so last year was our inaugural event, and we do have, I believe, a PDF of the book that was given out at the event that listed all the sessions. So I will see if I can post that to the website. But I will say that even if we had that topic last year, it doesn't mean that we won't have it this year. So there's value in it. Last year was only in person. It was not a virtual conference. So only the people that went last year had the option to attend that. And because we were in person last year, we didn't have the opportunity to view that session later. Now this year in the virtual world that we're working with, we'll have the opportunity where you can go to the session at the actual time, or you can view it later. So I would say that each session last year has the opportunity to be repeated this year because there was only so many people who were able to experience that. And we hope that this year with the virtual environment that we will have, our goal is to have a much larger audience.
The next question is, will there be tracks into which sessions will be categorized?
Overall, no. We will not be doing like a caregiver track or a, no, we're not doing like specific tracks, but we are working to provide something for everybody. So the way it will be set up, if you take a look at the website, is there will be 4 sessions that will be happening at the same time. And so if you're a presenter at one of them, you can then, like the individual can then come back later to that session if they didn't attend it live. So we're trying to really offer a large variety and not make like the people who are registering for the event go specifically to a track. So we are allowing flexibility there, and we are going to have such a wide array of sessions that I don't think any of them would fit neatly into a track other than research. We are going to have a nice focus on research. It will not be comprehensive to the entire summit, but it will be a focus area and probably the closest thing you would get to a track. But again, it'll be open and anyone can attend.
The next question is, how interactive can sessions be with the audience? Can we ask questions of the audience to get input on ideas that we are presenting?
So I can give a response to that. One of the nice things about the virtual platform we're using is we can do polling. It has a really nice, slick polling feature because some of these sessions will be large. They will not have full interaction because obviously with large groups that makes it difficult, but we can do polling. And our team can work with you on helping to develop polling questions, and it can be real-time polling, which is also nice because as you get the input from your audience, that can help guide how your session will go from there. So that's a definite yes, and we encourage it.
Great, and building off that question, the next one that came in is, what is the anticipated audience size?
I will tell you that last year was our inaugural event, and our audience size last year was 270 people. We believe that this year with the virtual environment, it opens up the possibility of a lot more people. And that is our goal. So our initial goal is to at least double what we had last year. Last year we did have the summit right before the entire United States started closing down because of COVID. So it was literally a week or 2 before. So that did kind of impact our numbers last year. People were starting to get nervous about traveling. So this year my goal would be to at least double. And if we go beyond that, we're going to keep growing it. There will not be a limit or a capacity limit on this event.
The next question is in response to a previous answer. Did you say that sessions would be recorded for viewing after the summit? If so, would that be indefinitely or for a set period of time?
So all sessions will be made available to all registered attendees for 1 month after the summit itself. So it will be a defined period of time. They will be able to go back and view anything they missed, which is a really nice aspect of virtual, because as many of you know, if you've been at these educational conferences like me in the past, and you're like, I really want to go to this one. No, I really want to go to this one also. It's like, what do I do? So part of virtual is going to really give us that opportunity to make sure that even if they didn't make it to your live session, if they really wanted to see it later, they're going to have that opportunity, but it will be a defined period of time. Yes. And yes, they will be recorded.
So this is the final question that has come in. And someone else is just asking again, how much time is allowed for speaking and the presentation?
Sure. So the window is fully 1 hour from beginning to end. And what I would plan for is, 2 to 5 minutes of opening remarks. They'll introduce you in the topical session. People will get settled in. And then I would say anywhere from like 30 to maximum 45 minutes for the session itself. And then I would close with a Q&A session. There is an opportunity that those Q&A sessions might run over a couple minutes of the hour. That is okay, but I wouldn't plan for more than an hour. There's a break after each grouping of sessions, so if we run over, they're not missing their next session, so they won't be rushing out the door, just to forewarn you.
Great, so that is all the questions that we've received. If anyone has any other questions, please go ahead and put them into the Q&A box.
Well, thank you everyone for coming today and submitting questions. We really hope to see some great applications in the coming weeks, and we hope that you'll be one of them. Thank you.
Two more questions. Oh, sorry, two more questions just came in.
Mm-hmm.
The first is, will there be an option to play video?
Yes.
And then the second one is, how many speakers do we have overall?
There will be 3. There'll be 3 sessions. There'll be 1 each day that will be keynotes, and the rest will be breakout sessions. And I believe that there will be, is it 36 breakout sessions?
Yes.
Yes.
And in some of those sessions, it may be a panel. So depending upon how it's designed, we're probably looking at around maybe in the end about 50 speakers at that point.
And it looks like this is the final question now. If you can list the 3 main criteria, that would be great. Independence, access, and the third one.
Was that from independence, access, and I'm sorry, was that from the website? I mean, yes, those are criteria.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm not sure on that. Marty, do you have the website? Did you?
I do. I'm looking. We actually have quite a bit of evaluation criteria listed on the site. If folks might want to use it as a checklist, perhaps, as you craft your proposal. And I think that would probably be very helpful. We've got quite a robust list there.
Great. So it looks like those are all the questions that have come in so far.
Great. Thank you, everyone, for coming.
Thank you, everyone.